It's Monday morning, it's PCRFM, Kev with breakfast. Good morning. Now, every Monday with Peterborough Positive, we chat to a different city centre business. Today it's the Quay Theatre, and we're going to speak to a performer who's got a show coming up at the Quay, and we're going to play the perfect song that fits the title of the show in a few minutes. But first, my question to Jude, this local performer, as part of Quay Seeds. What is Quay Seeds?
Well, it's a programme for about 6 or 7 artists of any discipline, actually, as long as there's performance involved. It's hosted at the Quay Theatre in Peterborough, and basically you apply for it. So I applied for it around the end of summer last year. You say a little bit about your project, and it's all about essentially taking an idea or a project that you've got for a piece of theatre and helping you move it on to the next stage.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And this is for anybody in the whole of the east of England?
It is, yeah. I heard of it through an artist development network that I'm on, so they publicise it quite widely. So it's, for anyone from any artistic or theatrical discipline who needs a little bit of help to, move on in the development of their idea.
Well, congratulations on being part of Quay Seeds. So you'll have to tell me a bit more then about your own artistic background.
Well, what I do is, I sometimes call it joyful comedy. I'm a poet and a writer and a performer and an entertainer, and I do a little bit of singing with my guitar. So I've brought a show which is a family show. It's designed for anyone aged 6 to 106, although I do allow 107-year-olds to come in as well. And it's a blend of poetry, songs, some chatter, lots of interaction, and a few jokes along the way. Interesting.
A Noise Annoys. So that's a play on the word noise and annoys.
That's a pun even before we start. Yes,
yeah, exactly. And who doesn't love a pun, right? Where do you get your inspiration to write this kind of stuff?
I've been writing for a long time, but this is my first family show, and I just love wordplay. So I think all the time in my head or in conversation, wherever I am, I notice words and I mess around with them. So that's really where it always starts with me. So I think the phrase "A Noise Annoys" just popped into my head one time, and I thought, oh, that's a poem. And then I wrote a poem about a very annoying noise that was happening in my household, and no one could work out where it was coming from. And that poem has now turned into the first poem of the show, and I've built a show around this concept of noise. And in the show, we sort of go on a little journey. I call it a journey around the sound of language and the language of sounds. We start off with annoying noises. We make some of those together, and we go through a journey of just looking at sound, where it comes from, looking at language, messing around with words, and then we start discovering that actually lots of noise can also be joyful. So we have a lot of fun together, me and the audience.
I mean, you've just said the show starts where we explore some of those annoying noises. So examples, please, and maybe we can both make a couple.
Well, I do say to the audience, I tell them when they're allowed to make their most annoying noise, and I do say it will have to be an annoying noise that you can make on purpose, obviously, because some of the most annoying ones are involuntary. So I can make you my annoying noise. It goes something like this.
Do you know, that's really weird. I was going to make the same noise. Oh, this is brilliant. This is like, you can be such a big kid, you know, in a safe space, in a theatre kind of space. I think it's awesome. I'm going to make my annoying noise. Ready?
Go on. Go for it.
How's that?
That is quite annoying, yeah.
I think that's
short and sweet is fine.
I think it meets the standard of noises that can be annoying. Oh, I love your mind, because I guess as a creative, as someone who wants to stand on stage and perform, being able to just go up all sorts of avenues and roads, partly knowing where you're going, but partly not knowing where you're going, I think is awesome. And it sounds particularly brilliant in terms of being interactive with the audience. So if you're interactive, you've got them hooked all the way through, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's really interactive. But you know what? It's participative. It's not threatening in any way. It's very much, you can join in as much or as little as you like. I know some people go to the theatre and kind of think, oh no, I hope I don't get picked on. Yeah. So no one ever gets picked on in my show, but it's the kind of show where you've said the word playful already. It's like we get together and we have a load of fun together, and I guide people through it. You can join in the singing. There are some little noises you can make with some paper. I give out some tissue paper in the show, which makes a lovely rustling noise at various points. Sometimes I ask questions. The audience can make suggestions. We're not a very singing culture always, are we? I think people sing in the shower, but when everybody's singing around you, and when I, as a performer, have demonstrated that actually today is all about having a laugh, then everyone feels free, I think.
In that, I've already said it, that safe space. You know, you're not going to feel like you're the only one singing, because everyone will join in. And by the way, you just used a really long word that I was well impressed by.
Oh, what was that?
Participative.
Participative. I have practiced that one.
You said that word, and I was like, that's a great word. How about a wider chat about Key Seeds? And I know they're partly supported by Landmark Theatres, aren't they? Yeah,
that's right. The Key Seeds Theatre comes under the Landmark Theatres Trust. So they've kind of, I suppose, devised this scheme. I think this is the second year that Key Seeds has been running, and I think the aim is that it becomes an annual programme where local talent can kind of be grown through the local theatre. So all of us are at slightly different points in our journey. So some of the shows that are on at the Key Seed weekend are kind of very early in development. So you get to come along and listen to perhaps a rehearsed reading, or someone giving you a short excerpt of their idea at a really early stage, which is quite exciting. Or you can come to something like my show, which essentially this is the launch of my tour at the Key Seeds weekend on the 3rd of May. So that's at the other end. That's a show that I've been able to sort of finish developing and perfect, I hope, with the help of the Key Seed scheme.
Love it. I'm looking at a picture of you right now on the website. You sat on the colourful bean bags, and you've got a very happy face.
Well, do you know, I love doing what I do, and I feel so privileged to be able to get up and share my words with people. I don't know if that sounds pretentious or silly, but it's a great joy every time I do it.
Warm, witty and uplifting. Jude Simpson, thank you so much for joining us for a conversation. And so let's repeat the dates. When can people come and watch you at the Key Theatre in Peterborough?
It's the 3rd and 4th of May, so that's Saturday the 3rd and Sunday the 4th of May at the Key Seeds studio in Peterborough. It's at 2 p.m, and everyone is welcome.
And the project is called A Noise Annoys.
That's the one.
Thank you, Jude, for talking. I really appreciate it. And I think, bearing in mind the name of the show, there's only one song we can play up to the news. It's Beautiful Noise, Neil Diamond on PCR.